Hey, what's up everybody? Josh here, and I just want to talk for a quick second about the Steam Summer Sale. Now, I've only recently gotten into Steam in probably the past 2 or 3 years, but now that I'm into it, I'm really into it. Specifically because there are so many good deals going on right now during the Steam Summer Sale. So I'm going to just tell you a few that I picked up recently that I'm really into, and also if you have any suggestions or games you think that I would dig, let me know in the comments below because I would love to go check them out. So here are my picks from the Steam Summer Sale. Alright, one of the first games that I picked up for the Steam Summer Sale was Child of Light. Now this is kind of an RPG turn-based from Ubisoft, but it's got this really beautiful aesthetic. It makes it look, I don't want to say it's like an oil painting, but it's almost like a 2D cel-shaded kind of look. But what's crazy is even though it's a 2D game, there's just so much depth to the environments. Like it feels very immersive, even though you're kind of just side-scrolling left to right. The combat's really fun and unique for a turn-based game. It kind of reminded me of Eternal Sonata because there's kind of like a timer, but it's not quite as real-time in that regard because that was kind of a real-time strategy game. But you know, as far as RPGs go, sometimes I can appreciate one as long as it's not like 100 hours long. And I'm assuming Child of Light is probably not that long of a game, at least I'm guessing not. But I picked this up, and it's got kind of this fun, immersive story where, you know, you appear to be dead or in a coma of some sort, and you're trying to find a way to pull yourself out of it, which I thought was a really intriguing story. And the fact that it's just really gorgeous visuals, and that the soundtrack sounds great, and that the gameplay was kind of a fun, unique spin on kind of the turn-based RPG that I kind of grew up playing was really appealing to me. So really had a lot of fun checking out Child of Light so far, and I'm hoping I'll actually get to finish it. So another game that I picked up was Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures. Now, I've been watching James Rolfe's videos for years and years, and I remember back, even before he was the Angry Video Game Nerd, I think he started out as just like the Angry Nintendo Nerd, but then, oh no, I have to sneeze. No, I don't. Do I? No, I'm fine. So, alright, yeah, I did. So anyways, back to what I was saying. I remember back when he was just like the Angry Nintendo Nerd, and then he kind of expanded into an Angry Video Game Nerd, and he basically just ripped apart all these old, really horrible, you know, games, and it was a lot of fun to watch him. So, and then a little bit later, I guess it was probably for the last couple of years, he actually did an Angry Video Game Nerd movie, which I picked up and bought immediately as soon as I found out it was available. And it's really fun, campy, kind of B-movie schlock, but I mean, there's cameos from other YouTubers in it, which was really interesting to me. And, you know, that he had his own game. I always think it's interesting when people who critique games, like Penny Arcade, for example, they tend to, you know, rip on games pretty hard through, you know, their comics. Whenever they, you know, people that are in that position kind of create a game on their own, and, you know, you just have to wonder if all the game developers who've been torn apart by them are just salivating at the chance to rip on their game. But Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures is super fun, but it's also super hard. I'm talking like old school Mega Man games kind of hard. Like, it's solid platforming action, but the difficulty isn't really annoying, or it doesn't come from a place where, you know, it seems like, you know, it's cruelly difficult, but rather it's only difficult if you don't up your skill to kind of compensate for it. So in that way, it feels like a very fair kind of difficulty curve, and it is chock full of, you know, James Rolfe's humor, which is amazing, and there are lots of throwbacks to other old school games that you'll pick up on pretty quickly. Some of them blatant, some of them a little bit more subtle. So if you're a gamer, if you have a long established history with gaming, you will find a lot to love in Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures. Alright, another game that I picked up was Bully Scholarship Edition. Now, when Bully came back, geez, I can't remember when it came out now. I want to say it was like right at the end of the PlayStation 2 lifetime, I think. 'Cause I think it started off on PS2, and then there was, I think Bully Scholarship Edition was actually re-released for the 360 sometime later. But it was one of those games that I seem to remember it coming out, and I was already kind of in the next generation, or it was right coming up, and I kind of skipped it. But then Scholarship Edition came out, and I just had a ton of fun with it. It's like almost like a light version of GTA in a weird way. You know, you go off to this prep academy, and you get kind of involved in all these wacky adventures, and, you know, even though you know, the game's called Bully, you don't have to behave in a bully-like way, and it's just got a fun story, really interesting characters, and it was just one of those things that for like, I think I got the game for like $2 or $3. I was like, yeah, it's something I definitely want to hold on to. And that was another game where I just really dug the soundtrack quite a bit. There's just a lot of good music in that game, really liked it a lot, so Bully was kind of an instant purchase for me. Now, there's a few games on here that I picked up that I have absolutely not touched at all, but I'm really excited to check them out. One of them was The Cat Lady. Don't know anything about it. All I know is that I watched the video and it looked super creepy, and I love horror games, so eventually I'm going to crack into that. I'm pretty excited to do it. I figured even if I'm not able to play it right now, I definitely want to do a lot of horror game stuff, you know, this coming October, so I might as well go ahead and pick it up now while it's on sale. I also picked up Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. I barely know anything about this game. All I know is that it was kind of like universally acclaimed, and it looked, you know, interesting, at least on the surface from what I saw from some gameplay screenshots and some of the videos. So kind of excited to check that out. And one of the games that I think is I'm most curious to try, and it also got a lot of praise, was Crypt of the Necrodancer. Because one, it sounds creepy, and two, it also has elements of a rhythm game. So it's like a dungeon crawler / rhythm game is my understanding. And I'm a huge fan of rhythm games like Guitar Hero, Rock Band, Dance Dance Revolution, you know, so having elements of dungeon crawling combined with, you know, some kind of a rhythm game seemed appealing to me, and I assume it's gonna have an awesome soundtrack as well, so really pumped to check out Crypt of the Necrodancer. Probably do a whole vlog on that whenever I get a chance to play it, because it just looks super fun. Finally, I also picked up This War of Mine, and I looked at this game, and I feel like I only buy 2D games, it sounds like, but, you know, I love 2D games. So I picked up This War of Mine because I watched the gameplay footage for it, and it just looked really kind of harrowing, and it looked like it had a really strong narrative and a good story. And I'm assuming that, you know, the game is going to explore kind of the horrors of what war entails for the people that are subjected to it. So in that way, I thought it would be kind of a fun new angle to explore a story from, because so typically, like, you play war games like Call of Duty or, you know, Medal of Honor, games like that, and, you know, you always... It's kind of anecdotally thrown in, like, yes, war is bad and you do horrible things and there are atrocities, but I think it would be very interesting to kind of look at the, you know, the concept of war from the perspective of people who actually have to suffer through those horrors and aren't necessarily, you know, part of any army. They just happen to be, you know, just kind of stuck in the fallout from, you know, some other conflict. So I'm kind of curious to see what the story is like in that one, but I assume it's going to be very, very good. So there you have it. Those are just a few games that I picked up on the Steam Summer Sale. There's still, I think, like 5 days left in it, so I'm sure I'll be picking up more games. But again, you know, let me know what you picked up on the Steam Summer Sale. If there's any games you particularly recommend to me, knowing that you've kind of gotten to see a little bit of what my gaming tastes are in this video. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, because I'll be doing, again, daily vlogs, at least for another like 70 days or so, along with Monster Popcorn, who's also undergoing this completely ludicrous challenge. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Later.